Single women and rich millennials are dominating luxury real estate in 2025. And as a single woman and millennial, we love to hear this. I will take it. One of my friends sent this to me on Instagram the other day. I was like, yes, claim this. But it really is so interesting. Now, the whole reason this episode even came about was because my friend sent me this article that was stating a recent report from Sotheby's International Realty stated that in 2025, single women and affluent millennials will significantly influence the luxury real estate market. Now, while I love this article, we're actually not going to be talking specifically about this article, because the article is generally talking about a really affluent population. Like, it's mainly talking about women who have net worths of over $5 million or more. And while I love a woman with a net worth of over $5 million or more, and that's something I know I personally am striving for, what I want to talk to is the population of women who aren't maybe quite at that $5 million mark, but they've got a good chunk of change saved up in their bank account, or maybe they're striving to have a good chunk of change saved up in their bank account, in their investment portfolios, purchasing their first, second, third properties, looking to scale their portfolios and gain financial freedom. But yeah, just in case you wanted to know, just an FYI, that women with a net worth of over $5 million here in the US own 15.2% of high-priced residential properties in the US. Pretty crazy. But that being said, in 2024, and this isn't even just high net worth individuals, right? Single women accounted for 20% of home buyers compared to 8% for single men. And that was actually reported by the National Association of Realtors. And personally, I love that this is happening, okay? As a single female myself who has purchased properties all by myself, right? And I am proud to say that I am like helping the millennial and Gen Z generation of women be financially independent, purchase their first investment properties, invest in themselves, and build the life they've always dreamed of and always desired. Okay, y'all, do I have something exciting for you? Now, I just came out with a brand new free training on exactly how you can get started investing in real estate within the next 3 months. Because if you're someone who wants more freedom in your life, the ability to travel the world and do the things that you actually want to do in life, you're going to want to listen up. Trust me. Now, this training is freaking awesome. I literally go in and spill the tea on the number one strategy that is working right now, like literally today in today's market. And I go over how to look at deals and make sure that they actually cash flow, and how to set your properties up so that you can run them from anywhere in the world. Like, I literally have managed my properties from over 6 different time zones. So if you are stuck in analysis paralysis, you don't know where to start when it comes to real estate investing, but you know that it's something that you want to do in the future, this training is going to be for you. So to check it out, click the link in the show notes or DM me the word hack, like HACK on Instagram, and I will send you the link. Now let's dive back into the show. But the question is, why is this happening? Where is this change even coming from? So I'm going to break it down for you. There are basically 4 buckets when I was looking into this that have caused more solo females to start purchasing properties all by themselves. And this is why you can too, okay? The first one being financial independence and career growth. Now, women in general are just earning a lot more and are attaining even higher levels of education. Like for example, I got my bachelor's in chemical engineering. I went and got my master's in engineering and technology management. That is starting to be really, really common for women, which 60, 70, 80 years ago was not the case, right? We are now in this era, this first real generation of women who are able to be completely financially independent on themselves, by themselves, and be self-made. There are also now more women in leadership and in higher paying careers with financial resources to do things like invest in the stock market, invest in real estate, and be financially free themselves. There's also more women starting side hustles, using social media and marketing, building businesses. We're in this incredible digital age where you can literally make money on the internet, which is crazy. And women now feel this need to provide for themselves and potentially even provide for their families too. Because we're also in this generation where a lot of the time it's really hard to just live on one income. So you need to be financially independent and secure. And one way to really do that is by buying real estate and investing in real estate. Now, the second reason why this is happening, right, is changing social norms. Marriage rates are declining and divorce rates are going up, okay? And more women in general are just choosing to stay single. And if they are getting into a partnership, they're a lot more particular about the person that they are going for, right? It's not just trying to get into a partnership for the sake of getting into a partnership. They want it to be a situation where it's mutually beneficial for both of them, right? Whereas in the past, a lot of women would get into marriages because that was really the only way to survive and provide for yourself and have that security. But now, because of what I was saying in that bucket number one, right, that financial independence, a lot of us are financially independent now. There are these changes in social norms. Also, the traditional idea of having a forever home or waiting to buy a home until marriage just isn't a thing anymore. With marriage happening so much later right now, a lot of people are getting married in their 30s, in their 40s. Women aren't wanting to wait until then to buy a property, right? They want to be financially secure now. They want to find a home now a lot of the time too. Or like me, they just want to get started investing in real estate and they don't want to be spending money on rent in a high rise when they could buy a property that pays for itself and pays for their living expenses. And now more than ever, women just have stronger credit and stronger savings. This is something that wasn't prioritized in the past. And honestly, still in society, there's a lot of women who don't feel financially savvy, right? That's why there are a lot of different programs out there and communities out there teaching women financial literacy. It's part of a strong reason as to why I built my program, the Wonderlust Wealth Academy, and the House Hacking to Freedom course, and put all of this content on social media. It's to help educate young women on how to build up their financial savings so they're not in a pickle later down in life. And we're just in a culture now too where we're not necessarily waiting for Prince Charming to come and save us. I know a lot of us, like me included, right? A lot of us still really desire to be with a partner and do life together, but we're not waiting for someone to come save us anymore. We don't need saving. We've got it, right? We're more looking for a partner, someone we can actually do life with, which is a very different mentality around marriage that used to be over the last 30 to 50, 80 years, right? So just those changing social norms have made a huge impact on who's actually buying homes nowadays. Now, the third reason why single women and single female millennials in particular are buying properties is the desire for stability and security. Now, firstly, as we were saying before, in today's society, you can't really depend on someone else to provide you with that financial stability and security, right? You have to do it for yourself. And the great thing about home ownership is that it provides you long-term stability, especially when you're investing, especially when you're house hacking. It makes it even easier. Just finding ways to still bring in income or maybe even replace your corporate income so that when you have kids, you don't have to work, right? A lot of women are starting to think about this. It's like, okay, well, I want to have kids in a few years, but if I lose my income, that means like we have to change our lifestyles drastically. How can I continue to bring income in while I'm not working, right? And so now a lot of women are buying properties, right? They're buying investment properties so that they have that additional source of income coming in. And the fun thing too about real estate investing in general is that it's a tangible asset. I think especially as women, like we like having a physical thing that we can see and do something with. We can decorate it. We know the product that's being put out there. I know for me, like I have stocks, I've got my own portfolio, but I have so much more fun with real estate. And also, with the rising affordability of homes, it's so important now to do something like house hacking, where you purchase a property, rent other parts of it out so that it actually covers your mortgage or covers at least some of your mortgage, because that's the only way to afford housing and living, because rents are consistently going to be rising over the next few years to the point where it won't be affordable. So how do we take control of that? How do we provide stability and security for ourselves? We buy our own place and we rent different parts of it out. Now, the fourth and final bucket why more single women are buying properties is purely due to empowerment and representation. Years and years ago, there were not solo women buying properties for themselves. Like it wasn't really until I believe 1968, don't quote me on that. I do have a post somewhere on Instagram or Threads or all of that where there are the dates, but it really wasn't until 1968 realistically where most women, like of all colors, right, could actually buy a property for themselves. And even then, it was so difficult because they did not have the financial security and stability and the education, right, years before then. But now with the internet, with social media, we're seeing so much more representation. Like part of why I post so much is because I know that there are a bunch of other young solo females who don't have the representation. They don't have other young solo females buying properties, investing in real estate, starting their own businesses, building their dream lives, right? It seems like something so far-fetched and in this whole other world. But I even think about all of the, like so many of the students who have joined me in my program, right? They talk about how, yeah, like I just never saw anyone who was like me doing it. But after seeing you doing it, I felt like it was possible for me too. And the democratizing, like, don't get me wrong, social media and the internet, there's goods and bads to everything. There's definitely some bad things about social media, but the thing that I absolutely love about it is that it has democratized information. And so anything out there that you want to learn, you can literally Google it. You can find a social media influencer who's doing it. You can also become that representation, that person who shows other people how to do it. So it's really all just such a beautiful thing. I love the fact that more women are buying real estate, especially solo single females. They're being independent, they're covering their butts, and they're crushing it, okay? Now, if you're like, yeah, I am one of those solo single females who is ready to buy my first investment property, ready to take control of my life, I am hosting a free live masterclass. You can check the link in the bio to go ahead and get signed up. It is one of my favorite events of the freaking year. We'll go exactly over how to buy a property, what a good property even looks like, what do the numbers look like, how everything works. Come learn, take everything in. It's going to be high vibes, high energy. I cannot wait to see you there. Okay, bye fam. Thank you so much for listening to Wonderlust Wealth Show. Now, don't forget to follow the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love this episode, it would literally mean the world to me if you shared this with a friend or a family member, or literally like anyone off of the street. Like right now, go ahead, share it so you don't forget, or post it on social media and make sure to tag me. I love seeing what you're listening in on and what you resonated with, and I'm just so freaking thankful for you. I'm so freaking excited for you. I love you, and don't forget, life really doesn't have to be hard.